Welcome back to the channel. So just an update on Danny Tommo. So listen, looks like he's getting things moving very quickly. January 24th, Dover's coming to a standstill. So if you're not part of it, contact Danny and get the details, or I think just turn up at Dover on the 24th, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock's a big thing. Anyway, without further ado, here's the video.
So let's do the formalities. As always, make sure you can hear me and you can see me clearly. As soon as I get the nod on that, I'll start waffling. Yeah, I'm tired. But I'm tired because my brain is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour, making sure I think of everything. So, good evening. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone can hear me. Looks like you can. So let's go. Let's get into it. So yesterday, I had a meeting with the first group that I wanted to have a core base of lads that I met for the first operation of Operation Overlord over in France for Saturday. Now, let's make sure I give people the opportunity to come on. You lads are probably watching this. Great meeting yesterday. We had to change locations at the last minute due to a bit of a situation, but it didn't hinder it, and it went ahead, and it was a fantastic meeting. I was a bit dubious at first. I thought, what kind of characters we're going to meet, what's going to happen, and it was brilliant, and it put my mind at rest. And I think over the years, when I've organised demonstrations around the country, it's always turned out to be just proper patriotic British and English men and women. And yesterday again, it was fantastic. So we discussed a lot of ideas and we came to an agreement on how we see things. We made it very, very clear about things that need to happen and very, very clear on things that definitely don't need to happen. So that was good that everyone was in agreement. But let's start. Before I get into showing you the maps and trying to give you, I want to give you the vision that I have. I mean, you can't feel it unless you're there. Okay, you can't feel it unless you're there. So this is my attempt to show you and give you an opportunity to understand the locations, where things are happening, where's worth going and taking a stand and making sure that we make our mark. But I want to start off by announcing something. A lot of people are messaging me saying, I don't have a passport. I want to stand up for my country. I want to do something. How can I get involved, Danny? And I've been thinking about it, and I've been discussing it with the lads. And I got a lot of women, a lot of really patriotic, solid British and English women that are messaging me saying we're desperate to get involved. So for that basis, from 2 p.m. onwards on Saturday, from 2 p.m., it's very important that you listen to that time. From 2 p.m. onwards, Dover will come to a standstill, an entire standstill. The reason that is happening is because while the English and British lads send a message in France, we also need to send a message to the British government in England. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not advocating for any violence. I do not want anyone to commit any violence against anyone, any persons, any property, anything, any cars, any vans, any properties, any hotels, any vehicles, nothing. But Dover, from 2 p.m., make sure you understand this, because we need to be able to make sure we can get to France before Dover comes to a standstill. This is a legal thing. I have gone through it with a lawyer. We're not advocating for any riots. We're not advocating for anything to be illegal. We're just going to bring Dover to a standstill. Once the lads are over in France, it's very important that nothing happens until after 2 p.m. Those that don't have passports, those that can't travel, those that just want to be part of something and not very keen on France just yet, I get it, I understand it, and I would ask the women to be the majority numbers here. I'm calling on the pink ladies. I'm calling on the women of England. I'm calling on those that see what's happening around our country and they are fed up, they are scared, and they want change. I'm talking directly to you. We will set out exactly how that will look. And I'm making it very clear again. We are advocating for no violence. Do not commit any violence under this plan, because you will ruin it for everyone. But it is time that we took a stand. And I know we're on Monday and Saturday is not long away. But we have to do this at short notice for it to be able to work. So I'm going to repeat it. This is your opportunity. This is the opportunity to take a stand. We're going to do Dover and Calais and the surrounding north of France at the same time. We're not going to do anything closing down France. I repeat, we are not closing anything in France. We are there lawfully. We are there to take a stand, and we are there as British and English patriots. This only applies to Dover after 2 p.m. What does that look like? It looks like that we want the pictures beamed around the world, that we've had enough. We've had enough of the crimes. We've had enough of the mass immigration into our country. We've had enough of these migrant third world invading men thinking they can cross the channel in small dinghies, plant themselves directly in the middle of our communities. And the reason this is happening, and this is important, the reason this is happening is because there is no collective attitude or plan or action at all on any level to prevent the boats from coming. Nothing. No one can point to a deterrent or action that is being taken by the British government, by the French government, on any level that is creating anything to try and bring this to a stop. So we have to do something we've never done before. We have to realize that it is now time for us to stand up. So I will repeat it for those that have just come on. From 2 o'clock on Saturday, the 24th of January, Dover will come to a complete halt. If you don't have a passport, if you don't really think you are interested in traveling to France on this occasion, then fine. Be part of the resistance in Dover. But let me be very clear once more. This can never turn violent. If you allow this to turn into a violent act, we have lost everything that we're working for. Imagine waking up on Sunday and seeing it being beamed around the world that the English and British patriots of the United Kingdom brought Dover to a standstill while the men of England and Britain took Calais and the surrounding north and sent a clear message directly to the British government, directly to the French authorities. You have forced our hand. You have done this, not us. We want to live our lives peacefully. We want to be able to go about our lives peacefully. But you are allowing third world invading men to infiltrate into our communities, scare our women, sexually assault our children, and there is no effort to bring it to a stop. We have enough wrong-uns in this country, as everyone knows. We have a lot of wrong-uns in this country. We do not need to import any more. I don't want to hear anything about any international issues. I don't care about anything that's going on around the world. I don't care about Israel, Palestine. I don't care about Iran. I don't care about any of it. I care about my homeland. It's being changed beyond any recognition. My grandfather would be turning in his grave and remember the words of the veteran that went on that program that morning. And he said directly to every single man that has a descendant and has a grandson of the grandfathers that went on those beaches on that day, that their sacrifice wasn't worth the result we have today. It's about time you get off your ass, you get away from your screens, stop doing all of this about how bad things are, and get yourself to Dover on Saturday. And after 2 p.m, Dover will come to a halt. And that is the beginning of the message. I don't want to have to do this or call this on or put myself at the forefront of this, but I have to, because no one else is doing anything. There's no plan. There's no action. There's nothing going on. And everyone's waffling, everyone's talking, everyone's doing videos, everyone's having a great old time waffling down the boozer. Time is up for talking. So I'll repeat, and I don't want to I'm going to go on to other things, yeah? I'm going to go on to other things. From 2 p.m, make sure that whoever wants that you bring or you come with, it's from 2 p.m. If you try and do anything before 2 p.m, you will hinder the message that's being sent to France. We are going by land, air, and sea. People are flying in. People are going in the La Shuttle. People are going on the ferry. People are going from different areas on the south coast, Portsmouth, Southampton, wherever. People are going from everywhere. And they need to be able to get to France for early afternoon. Between 12 and 1. Do not commit any violence in this name of this plan. Because the lads that I were with yesterday, and I know the lads that are watching this that are with me, and I know the lads that have been telling me for many, many months that they're ready to go in the right way, we'll turn on you. You go to Dover or you go to France and you start trying to make this into anything violent or a riot or anything, we will turn on you. Don't get it twisted. We'll put you in your place. You're not disrespecting what we're trying to. This is about our country. This is about our families. This is about our whole existence in this country. And the digital age has allowed us to become weak. The internet age, the era, it's allowed us to become weak. And it's time we went back to our roots, went back to who we really are, and we stand up for what we believe in. Talking on the internet isn't changing anything. 2 p.m. Saturday, Dover comes to a standstill. And why? We in France take a stand and send a message very clear to the French. Very, very clear. But let me also be very clear to any French that are watching this or any authorities. We come with no violence in our minds. We come with no looking for any criminal offences. We're not there for any of it. We come as concerned fathers. We come as concerned husbands. We come as grandsons of those men that fought on those beaches to give France their country back. That's who we are. Remember who we are. The plan of where in Dover and how it's going to happen will be published way before Saturday. So listen, Dover's not a big place. Just make sure you're in Dover by the late morning. But do not Do not do anything until you get the call to do it. And what that looks like, I'll be making sure that you understand that. No violence, no riots. Do not touch any property. Do not attack any police officers. Do not attack any cars. Do not attack anyone or any property, because you will ruin everything that we're trying to do here. This is a response. This is a deep-rooted English and British response. And I have the backing of some of the biggest patriots in this country, which I won't name, but you pretty much understand who I'm talking about. And this will be beamed around the world. This is our chance. And don't think this is a one-off thing. We will be organising to go to France every single week from now on, because I know that once this gets beamed around the United Kingdom, once this works, once everyone is in check and gets this done, I know millions of those men will want to join us, and they'll want to do what's right, and they'll want to pay their respects to their grandfathers on those beaches in June 6th, 1944, and throughout the war, and what they did for us. We've got to stop being weak. We're going to stop thinking we can't do anything, and we're going to stop talking on the internet. So I want you, in whichever way you can, to put this out on the internet. Don't have to share my message. Don't have to share my video. Make your own video. We're closing Dover from 2 p.m. on Saturday. If they try and move us on, we'll go somewhere else. It's best if they just acknowledge that they really fucked up here. Excuse my French. I apologise for swearing, Mum. They need to realise they messed up here. And the best thing is to do is just let this be a message to them. I know from experience that the border force agents that took me aside and told me they respect and understand why we're doing what we're doing, I know they're with us. I know the police officers that have contacted other people within what we've done, they're also with us. The only ones that are not with us are those that are living at the very top, those that live in gated communities, those that don't understand what it means to live around what is we are currently being subjected to. So it's about time we all stop waffling shit. We all stop talking nonsense on the internet, and we did something different, but not violently. You see anyone trying to commit violence on Saturday, you point them out, we will deal with them. We will deal with them, because they will disrespect everything we're working for here. Put the message out. Dover's closed 2 o'clock from Saturday, while we are in France doing exactly what we need to do. And I'm not going to give the opportunity to tell you exactly what it is that we're going in France to do, but every single one of you that is traveling to France, make sure you pre-book. Make sure you know how you're getting there. There are ports throughout the south coast of England that you can travel to France by car. You might have to drive for a few hours, okay? There's loads of flights. You can hire a car for a day for about 60 quid. There are no excuses. So, based on that information, that's the announcement that I'm making. We're closing Dover from 2 o'clock. We're going to hit them where it hurts, and we're going to make sure that this message gets beamed around the world. Now, let's move on. In terms of France, let me give you the logistics of France. So I hope you can see the map there, and I hope you can see my cursor. Let's zoom out a little bit. I want to show you where we are here. So this is our beautiful land here. Make sure that is actually working on the screen. Yeah, good. So this is our beautiful land that's been invaded here. Okay. I'm talking to people that live in Dover at the moment, and I want some advice. And within the next couple of days, you'll all understand how this is going to look. But I'm more interested in this side. So when you've seen our videos, when you've seen everything that we've done, the majority of the time of everything that we've done has always been from Gravelines. It's one of the number one hot spots for these third world invaders invading our country. This is the number one hotspot 1 second. Let me just make sure I'm zoomed in on that. Okay, 1 sec. Right. So this is the number one hotspot that we find. Okay. They come in from roads like this one here, and they come up, and then they hide the boats in these areas here, in the sand dunes, all along here. And remember, one thing I want to point out before I carry on, this is only information that I know. There may be people that are watching this that go, hold on, what about that location? What about this? What about that? Yeah, I'm giving you my first-hand experience. Yeah, I'm giving you where I know I've been. So if I get something a little bit wrong, or I say something that makes no sense, or something, just go with it, because I'm giving you my first-hand experience. Yeah. So this is it. So when you saw us hiding in the sand dune, sitting there freezing our balls off at 4 a.m, it was this area here, these sand dunes here. We were sat here waiting, and all the police that we saw were driving up and down these beaches, making sure it was all clear for the migrants to come, because they're all in it together. Yeah. So there's a car park just here. And a lot of the people that hide the boats, they go to these places. So this is one of the main hotspots. Now, this is going to be a paramount place on Saturday. I'm not going to tell you where, but I'm going to tell you that is a very important location that you need to know. So you see this beach here. The reason they choose this is because it goes so far out into the ocean, and you can go to about here, and it's only still up to your shins. Perfect for them. Perfect. Yeah. Now, because we started applying so much pressure to them, they started changing it. And the last time we were in France, I think it was the last time or the time before that, I'm not entirely sure, we were so active on this beach here that they actually pushed them away from that beach and more towards the Grand Fort Philippe area, which they left for around about this area here. So there's a car park. I'm not 100% sure where that car park is now. It's either somewhere here, it's somewhere down this line. There's a car park here, and this is where we parked. And we realised that because our activities on the right-hand side, they actively pushed those migrants to here. So we weren't, and we were on the other side. We were watching all the boats and everything coming out, and all the maritime, and we were watching the boats on the apps, and we realised we were in the wrong place, because they're getting smart. So they bamboozled us to make us be on one side, and they took them to this. So again, a very important part is here. This is somewhere we're going to definitely visit on Saturday in some capacity. I'm going to make a little bit more clear sense of that as we get towards Saturday. So one of the number one hotspots is this area here. How far is that from Calais? So you're going to get off on the ferries, from the shuttles. You're going to end up somewhere here. You literally will be able to come straight onto the motorway, the A16. It will take you between 20 to 25 minutes, and it will bring you straight into this area here. Okay. So if you want to get your phone out now and you want to take a picture of that, that's somewhere that you need to be aware of if you're coming to on Saturday. Okay. Another area of concern, another area of which they are definitely going from, which one of my insiders, is talking to me about, is Sanguet and all the way down to Wissant. This is a very, very active area. It used to be one of the most active areas, because look at the distance between France and England. It's one of the closest distance, one of the easiest points. Again, a very, very important location. I also want to make sure. Okay, can everyone still hear me? Is the map working? Just let me know before I carry on. Just let me know that it's all still working. Yeah, all good? Good. Okay, let's go back to the map. So, very interesting. So we're also going to be looking at these areas here. I need people, for the longevity and for the consistency of this, to understand that there are certain points that we need to go to and certain points we don't. All of these areas here are also big hotspots. The reason they don't go really from Calais is because there's a lot of traffic in terms of the ferries It's very active there. So they come to either Sangak was one of the most prominent places for the last 20 years. Okay. So again, think about this, but when you get into France, don't head this way. Head this way towards Gravelines. Do not head this way. It'll become more clear as to why when you get there on Saturday. Head towards the name Gravelines Grand Fort Philippe. Yeah. So again, if you've got a phone and you're watching this or you want to write it down, when you land in the ferry, it's very easy. The good thing is, once you get off the ferry, it's 20 minutes up the road. Everything's very close. There's no long distance driving, confusion. You put that into your Google Maps or your Apple Maps, you're getting sent straight there. There's no dramas. Okay. Now, I want to talk to you now about the camps because these will be very relevant. Okay. One of the most dangerous camp that I ever saw, where I felt the most thought of, wow, okay, this is a dangerous place to be, was the hospital camp. Okay, you've got a variation of roundabouts here. So when you come off the motorway, be it from this way or be it from Gravelines, you'll come in towards the hospital. You'll go over the first roundabout, over the second roundabout, over the third roundabout, and when you hit the fourth roundabout, you see this whole area here. That is basically one big migrant camp. It's huge. And there are thousands of them. And they are very violent. They are very confrontational. And let me make this again very extremely clear. If you attempt to attack or intimidate a migrant in those camps, you are ruining everything. It's not about that. This is about sending a message. The consistency of this is very, very important. Making sure this works is very, very important. We're not telling anyone where we're going. We're just making it very clear. We're not hiding from anyone. Anyone that says, well, why are you saying things out loud? We're not hiding. We're not hiding from anyone. We want people to know that we're there. We want them to know that we're coming. We want them to know that we know what they're doing. Don't get this twisted. We're not doing this as a covert operation that's going to be sneaking in and sneaking out. Yeah? We're going to be in the country for 2 weeks. What are we doing here? Yeah? Again, no violence. No, it takes you out your comfort zones and you're actually part of something to do something about this. Number 2, we need to pressure those that are paid back home have to take some of the pressure of the debt, and so do they when they're in England using taxpayers' money. I found that out today, and I couldn't believe it, because I was sitting there thinking, "Oh, how does this work? How does this work? He hasn't got a grand, 500 quid," and they said there's no real money being exchanged in the camps. It's not in the camps. It's all back home where they're coming from. That there is a promise to pay. So then what they'll happen is they don't need to pay straight away all in one go. They'll pay in installments. So I think it's like, mobiles, like Vodafone, O2, you pay monthly. You don't pay for the whole contract up front. Same concept. They pay them all monthly, whatever they can give. And there's a minimum they have to give, and they have to give it. So you think of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of all these men that have got a promise to pay. All this money is just being filtered, and everyone's benefiting from it. The NGOs are paying themselves millions and millions and millions of pounds and euros at the top of these organisations, and they're giving 10%, 8% to the front line, where the iPhones come into play. Well, how are they getting iPhones? Because they're trying to get rid of some of the money quick, because they're taking so much for themselves and they're taking so much for wages. They're like, quick, and then the HMOs and the security services, Serco, and all the organisations in England that were, the app was funded by the Home Office. The Home Office funded a £200 million app by Migrant Watch, a charity, to help the migrants illegally work when they get here. For Deliveroo, we're all thinking, how are they getting on Deliveroos? How are they getting all these Uber Eats? How are they getting their jobs so quickly? They've developed an app, so we can't see it. So there's no people walking in and saying, who wants a job? It's all orchestrated from top to bottom, left to right. Everyone's making money. Everyone's getting their piece of the pie. The globalists are destabilizing the West. Labour are doing this from top to bottom. And I see all of it. So when you see it, you can't unsee it, unfortunately. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You've got British veterans. You've got British homeless people that are falling on hard times, sleeping rough in January, sleeping outside these hotels. And these migrants are all there with designer bags and designer gear and stood there with their new iPhones outside and, following young girls and causing murders for the local residents. And everyone and all the left are like, refugees are welcome here. It's like they're dressed better than you. They got more expensive. When you think about it, you look at them and think, hold on a minute. He's got a designer bag on. Look at his trainers. He's got designer trainers on. He's not fleeing a war-torn country with no money. He just wants to come and rinse England because, like I found out on the migrant phone that I have, and it's very in safekeeping, that we found out there is a very sinister. I mean, this guy who had this migrant phone, I found it on the beach. I couldn't believe when I plugged it into my battery pack that the thing turned on, and the fact that it didn't even have a code on it. I mean, what a sausage! And then I've now, like a lot of people will know, I know I'm going off on one, but I need you to know this, obsession with young white girls, young white girls, no older than 10, 11, 12 years old. Screen recording himself, going from the app that he's talking to them on to the translation app. And in between that, when you switch apps, you could see his face as him in a country, the screensaver is him. It's him. So it proves that it's his phone that he's doing it on. And it's in his, I've got all of it. And I'm very dubious on who to give it to and how to do it because I think this proves everything. I mean, I've got everything. It's mad. And I see it and I have to feel it every day. And I look at it and I think, what are we doing here? And I know I'm waffling, but this is like, this for some people, this is like, oh, it's entertainment. Danny's talking shit on the internet. No, this is not about me. Like, who else is doing? Who else is saying let's do something? Who else is actually gonna put their sales out the front and go on, all right, let's go, let's do something. We're gonna sit around and wait for us to be too old, wait for our kids to suffer, wait for something really fucking bad to happen. Sorry for swearing. Something really bad to happen. I mean, things are bad. So yeah. So standing up is the only way. Doesn't have to be violent, doesn't have to be a riot, doesn't have to be lawful, but we have to do something. We have to do crazy. Never going to work. You've got the wrong tactics. At least let's try something. Okay? Let's try something. Let's be part of something. Anyone wants to know about the migrant phone? There's a lot of stuff on my YouTube. If you want to see the migrant phone, it's on my YouTube. And there's bits and pieces that shows. I don't need to lie about it. It means you can't make this shit up. The evidence is there. Yeah, the criticism will always be there by people that have sat there with their penises in their hand, doing nothing whilst waffling on the internet, criticizing anyone that's trying to do anything. That's that. Back to the map. Right. So that one there is another camp. Very, 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 very dirty. So also, yeah, let me do this and then I'll say that actually. Let me just put this in to make sure. Here we go. I think Ali. Let me put this in. HOS done. I hope this works. Let's see. Okie dokie then. Right. So this is the other camp. So if we go, let's just span out of here a bit. So this is the entrance to the camp as per se here. This is another camp. This is up more closer to grave lines, more closer to This is where we went. This is where things were a bit hairy. The thing as well that really stood out for me was the fact that if all these people are traveling through Europe and everywhere, and they're all doing it like at separate times, and they all should be different nationalities when they get there. Yeah? They're not. They're always from the same place. So it's like it's orchestrated. It's like 1 week it will be loads of people from Africa, Sudan, Eritrea, and then the following week it will be Afghans, And it's like, why is there never ever a mix? Why is there not like 150 Afghans? I don't know, I might have this wrong, but this is how I've seen it. Every time we went to France, went near the camps, everyone that's in the camps at that time are all from the same place. And that just I was just a bit like, well, how does that work? Why are they all from the same place? I don't know if anyone can answer that, but it just said. But anyway, they're all in here. So there's all tents everywhere in here. There's all tents here. They're all living in all there here as well. And then the NGOs are set up here. So you might have seen a video that I released of literally just a line of people, just lines and like a massive line of people just all standing there. It was very dramatic. It scared the life out of me for reasons of thinking, look at the type of characters. I mean, they were violent, they were confrontational. You wouldn't let these people look after your dog, let alone be around the communities where your children play. We've seen videos, of AY audits, big shout out to him, BB as well, all these boys, where they had a video of a park that had been taken over by a load of migrants from a hotel. And you think, no one in their right mind, no woman in their right mind would take their child to this park while all these men are just literally lingering. And there was one guy in there that was clearly mentally disturbed, running around shouting like an absolute lunatic. I think it's like all these sort of things. And when you go to these camps and you see what it's like, and you understand that they are very damaged individuals. They've clearly seen a lot. They've clearly been part of a lot, and people that have been over there, big up to UKIP, big up to James Harvey, big up to BB, all these people that have taken the effort to go over there and to see it for themselves. That's the line that we need to now take. Everyone needs to take a step to do. This is about our country. The egos, leave them at the doors. The arguing, leave it at the door. Let's just unify ourselves. Let's get it done. Let's go over there. Let's put some pressure. These French bastards, right? And not the people, because the people are in this with us as much as anything, right? But they are allowing it in a way. I mean, they got the problem as well, but they're pushing it on us. Like, if it wasn't for us, these French bastards wouldn't even have their country back. If it wasn't for us and the Americans and D-Day and liberating France and liberating Europe, they'd be talking German, sorry. So they're taking the piss, okay? Taking the piss. So this is, again, another very interesting place. And, another reason that people need to know this is because you need to know the outline. So let me just show you, if I zoom out now, okay? Let me zoom out. You'll see that this is where the camps are here. You got, so they're traveling down these main, let me tell you this, right? So you think they're like, oh, they're all walking, hiding in the middle of the night, walking through the jungle, walking through don't get seen. Nah, they're waiting at the bus stop, right? They're waiting at the bus stop. You've then got the local kids' buses turning up. They're all sat there with TB and all these sort of diseases from Africa and all these things. They're picking them up on kids' school buses, bringing them to the beach, then lining them all up, making sure they've all got life jackets on, and then they are pushing them all to the beach. Fred, the police, the authorities. Yes, it's that way. It's that way. They take the piss. What we're going to do, just sit here and hope that in 3 years' time, when reform or advance get in, that suddenly it's all going to stop. Do you understand what kind of condition our country will be in 3 years' time? It's all lovely to think that when reform get in, that they do. And I hope they do. Listen, I'm all for it. I don't think we should split any votes. I think, listen, Advance are great. I think Advance have got a better message. I think you look at who they're bringing in. I think it's Conservative Party 0.20. I'm sad about it. I wish I didn't have to say that. That's how I see it. It's my opinion. But I hope they do. I hope they bring the Navy in. I hope they change things. But 3 years' time, 4 years' time. Do not let anyone twist my words. We are not taking Dover violently. We are not taking Dover in a fashion of a riot or anything like that. Do not let anyone go on the internet and say Danny Tommo's calling for a riot in Dover. Danny Tommo's going to get everyone nicked. Like, grow up, grow some balls. All right. I've organised demonstrations for 9 years. I've had 50,000 lads. I've had 20,000 people. You know, I've had everywhere. And it's always gone the way it needs to go. Yeah, it's gone a bit airy sometimes. It's because the police instigated it. And they deserved a little pushback. But that was it. There was no riot. There was nothing, yeah? So when we look at this, we take Dover after 2 p.m. when everyone is over there. And I've given you some input into locations and what's what and everything else. But please remember the important parts. This area here is very important, okay? Very, very important. Now, the last place I want to talk about, Dunkirk. Again, a very important location. When you head to France, before you get the call, head this way. Yeah? Towards Gravelines, towards Lune, Prague, toward Dunkirk. So head this direction. Go for a coffee. Go for some breakfast. Go and relax until the call comes. It'll be you'll know anyway, you'll know pre-landing in France where you need to be. Send the message out. Do your own videos. Don't make it about me. Do not make it about me. Don't say Danny's doing it. Like, you can do what you want, but this is about people saying we're going to go down to Dover and take a stand. Yeah, we're going to do it here. We're going to do it here. We're going to do it here. I've seen videos today of the lifeboats, you know, welcoming these people in like it's like they're, you know, like they're war veterans coming back from a battle. Oh, come on the boat. Do you want a bit of water? Do you want a bit of this? Do you want a bit of that? And then they get over and get in hotels and all that. Like, we've had enough. Protests are great. Protests are great. But there's a time and a place. That's it. Okay? Do not send any donations to me. Do not send any money to me. This can all be done without any donations or any money being sent to anyone. This is about people taking their own trips from their homes to across, or if you can't, to Dover. You know, this money thing needs to be fizzled out. It needs to go. It's ruining everything. The only reason I ever asked for donations on PayPal was for equipment that you saw I used. The bulletproof vest, the night vision goggles, all the tactical gear that I was wearing, all the travel expenses. When nothing's going on, you don't need to donate to anything. Don't send your money to anyone. We're used to it. Let them talk. Let them say whatever they want. The slander is all part of the deflection of what needs to happen. Okay? Let people talk. Let people say what they want. Don't. This is too important. Okay? That's it. So, anyone got any questions? Any questions?